I ranked every Season 2 episode from D tier to S tier, and before you watch this is a continuation of my last video. And I'd highly recommend watching that one, then coming back to this before you watch this one, because it will show spoilers for Season 1 and what I ranked for that. Okay, now that I warned you, let's get started. This opens up with Mark and Immortal battling until Omni-Man comes along and kills him, while Mark finishes the job. Wait, what? This makes no sense. Why would Invincible be a tyrannical ruler that kills people alongside his dad? Oh yeah, I guess it's a different universe, duh. Back to the regular universe, Mark is still overcoming what happened in Chicago last season, while being a superhero and saving lives. He keeps on asking Cecil for missions, but he continues to say no due to Mark still needing to process things. Blue guys escape prison because the guy from the beginning opens portals out and asks them to copy thousands of different versions of himself's minds into himself, if that makes sense. They take him up on this offer. As they do this, Mark comes and tries to stop it, thinking they're up to no good. But Mark eventually starts getting badly beat up by an alternate version of Blue Guys from different universes. Why the hell did I say Blue Guys? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't I just call these people by their actual name? I'm sorry. Until Angstrom takes off his helmet, trying to prevent his death. But in doing so, he blows up the whole machine. Sorry, I meant the whole machine, killing all Blue Guys but one and making him super deformed. This episode is okay. I'll give it a C tier. Mark is missing his graduation because he is fighting Doc Seismic, aka Crazy Lunatic Man. The Martian disguised as a human gets fired, and Eve does some community work. Mark is told to take down the new Darkwing, who is a murderer, and does so. Debbie is talking to Cecil. Wait! What? Donald is alive? I'm so confused right now. Eve gets in an argument with her parents, and the Martian, who is now Shapesmith, joins the Guardians. Mark is eventually called to marry a fish woman to compensate for Aquarius' death. Oh, well that explains the name of the episode. But in a twist, he fights a big sea monster and with the help of Cecil, defeats it. A lizard guy shoots another lizard guy. Then finally, ending the episode, Angstrom gets intel from an evil alternate version of Mike. Mark! Damn, I hate freaking messing things up. I surprisingly like this. I was thinking about giving it a high B tier, but I think I'm gonna give it a low A tier. In this, we get the backstory of Alan and his people. Their planet was taken over by Viltrum, so they create Alan to fight back, but he isn't strong enough, and is instead used as an evaluator for planets. Eventually, Alan tells the coalition of planets, an alliance created against Viltrum, about his run-in with Mark, and explains that he thinks he's the key to winning the war. Back to Mark. They're at college right now, and, actually, never mind. Let's go back to Alan, shall we? He's enjoying dinner with his girlfriend, but is attacked and badly hurt by some Viltrumites. In the hospital, the leader turns off Alan's machine. Uh-oh. Debbie joins a group thingy for superhero spouses, while William and Mark talk about how him and Amber had some fun. They're confronted by an insect being disguised as a dog. He is asked to come back to the planet to save many's lives, but surprise! His dad is there. Dun, dun, dun! I'm sorry you had to witness that. B tier. We are taken back to the fight between Mark and his dad, and after Omni-Man travels through much of space, even contemplating suicide by going to a black hole, but ends up saving some people and becomes king of the planet. Surprisingly, Mark kind of misses his dad, and he shows him a big surprise. He's got a brother! Woo! Voice crack, sorry. Their chat is cut off when 3 Viltrumites come and start destroying the planet. Nolan stays behind while Mark saves his brother's mom/dad's new wife. But he is eventually ambushed by one of the Viltrumites. Mark is losing the fight until Nolan comes in and saves him, killing the Viltrumite. After meeting back at the city, a 2v2 commences, with Mark losing his, while Nolan mainly winning his. After he gives Mark a little pep talk on not holding back, he eventually overcomes her, and they both beat the 2 Viltrumites. But the guy before comes in and attacks Nolan from behind before passing out. Eve fights Laser Guy, and Donald discovers something mysterious about himself, ending the episode. Now, this was pretty solid. I'll give it an A tier. Nolan is eventually taken to be executed, and Mark is told to prepare Earth for Viltrum rule. After seeing all the destruction, Mark stays for 3 months, helping them rebuild and taking his brother with him. He introduces his brother to his mom and tells her about what happened, and then meets up with William and Amber. Donald confronts Cecil and is eventually revealed that Donald is a cyborg with real Donald's memories. News breaks that a ship full of sequids, the things that were introduced in the Mars episode, were heading towards Earth. The majority of the Guardians, Eve, and Invincible go into space to fight these things, while Rex, Ray, and Duplicate stay back. The Lizard League takes control of a nuclear site, so the three come to stop them, and do, but not without being injured. With Rex being the only one conscious and Kate being dead, eventually, the leader comes out and holds Rex at gunpoint. Meanwhile, the space team infiltrates the ship, but is surrounded. Also, meanwhile, Alan wakes up and is revealed that Optimus Prime... Thaddeus turns off the machine to make Alan's body rebuild itself stronger. In fact, it's strong enough to finally take on a Viltrumite. This is yet another average Invincible episode, and I think it deserves a B tier. Back at the ship, Rudy makes an EMP thingy that Mark uses to defeat the Sequids, while they escape the Martians who want Shadesmith executed. Back on Earth, Lizard King shoots Rex while walking over all the corpses and asking demands until Rex comes out of nowhere and starts beating the heck out of him. And I mean, like, the heck out of him, and is eventually rescued by a bunch of GDA agents. After this, they are visited by everyone gone in space, and a funeral is held for Kate. Meanwhile, Debbie finds a babysitter for Oliver. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, his name's Oliver now. Rick, the guy turned into a cyborg last season, is finally restored back to health and came back to campus. Immortal, thinking he is dangerous, fights Alan the alien until Mark breaks it up. They have a little chat, and Mark gives him some books. Meanwhile, Nolan's getting beat up in prison. A guy pukes at a Sequid, and we see his scene with Engstrom preparing for something. That's just pretty mid. I'll give it a C tier. This opens up with Mark and Amber at a comic convention until Mark is called to come and save Rex because he's fighting a big squid guy. Donald asks Cecil for some videos, and he figures out that he has died numerous times. Also, Rick thinks about killing himself, but Donald is able to talk him out of it. Mark is on a date with Amber, and as they are at dinner, they are rudely interrupted by a Viltrumite. Come on, dude, or lady, freaking cock blocking, bro. She lectures Mark about how Viltrum can fix problems on Earth, but eventually starts fighting him because he's being stubborn. And for good reason, I kind of wouldn't want an empire to take over my world. So I guess stubborn isn't whatever. He's beat up badly, but ends up being spared and goes to talk to Amber, and they break up. Alan fights the girl we just saw and is taken on the ship, all according to his plan. Then, in the last scene, Engstrom calls Mark while holding Debbie and Oliver hostage. This was yet another okay episode. I think I'll give it a high C tier. Instead of doing my usual rundown of what happened, I'm just going to glaze this because it was amazing. This was just great. There was so much action, so much going on. It kept me so invested up until the moment he defeated Engstrom. And that was only like the first 20 minutes. And even the other 30 minutes were good. It was slowly paced, but it was good on getting aftermath and setting up for the next season. The whole episode was basically just like Engstrom holding Debbie and Oliver hostage while teleporting Mark around in different dimensions and stuff. And just so much, like I said, so much action, so much going on, so much emotion. And in the end, Mark thinking he's his dad by killing Engstrom. You'll get what I mean in season 3. But I loved it so much. Very high S tier. This is every episode in season 2 of Invincible ranked. And season 3 should come out in like about a week. So subscribe, stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Peace.